I want you to go drink a lot of coffee, right? And then when you have to go shit really bad, I just want you to hold that shit in.
Welcome to the Better Man Podcast with Ivan and Sumed. This podcast is all about how to be an optimal, conscious male in today's society. Join Ivan and Sumed as they go deep into the rabbit hole of personal growth, mindset, social dynamics, and spirituality. Are you ready to be a better man?
Welcome to the Better Man Podcast.
Bro, it's because I got the headphones and I'm looking at myself.
We got two angles going here, so we're very confused.
And I'm listening to myself.
I think you should just take the headphones off, bro.
Oh, okay, I'll take that. Yo, that was the trippiest thing ever happened in my entire life.
All right, guys. Should we do the affirmation of the day?
Bro.
All right. You know what?
Switch the angle, bro. Because we have two cameras.
Yeah, that's better.
One of them is hitting us from the side angle, and it's like I'm looking at myself out of body, bro. That's literally what it felt like. I was like, what the actual fuck? Yo, if y'all want to watch this, go to the YouTube link. There's always a YouTube link involved. Yo, do you hear that alien sound? Yeah. You heard it, right?
I think it's from the headphones, bro.
No, man.
It's not?
I don't think so.
There are UFOs around here?
Man, well, it's about time. We're pretty fucking high conscious. You know, the UFOs. It's about time the aliens came and told us the secrets.
Well, they are storming Area 51, so we should watch out for that.
You know, the thing is, aliens won't come to you if you freak out. You know what I mean? They won't get in contact with you if you freak out. It's the same thing. You can't do like...
Yeah, imagine astronauts going to another planet and freaking out, bro.
Yeah, totally.
You know, they're just like, it's like meeting an animal or something. It's like you have to be like kind of calm within yourself, and that reflects onto the animal.
Yo, guys, so we actually wanted today to talk about how to actually evolve.
Evolution.
You know, the thing is, everyone's walking around like they know it all. But we actually know it all. We know everything that's in the entire universe. Everything that's in the entire universe, we know it. And that's not a joke. That's actually not true. We don't know shit. Like, I'm smart enough to know that I don't know shit. Like, I know more than most people. I know for a fact that I have I'm a genius. You know what I mean? I have unmatched intellectual abilities.
A fool knows everything.
But a fool knows everything. Mm-hmm. You just have to have the awareness to know where you are. And we want to be honest with you guys. We're going to tell you about our traumas. We want y'all to learn from our traumas because we know that they hurt. We know you're in pain.
We do.
Stop pretending like you're okay. Because you're not okay. You're not okay. You want to slide in a bit this way?
Well, that's a better angle?
Yeah.
Or you just want to get close to me? Touch me, but don't touch me, bro.
The latter.
Touch me, but keep touching me. All right, so let's get right into it. Evolution. Want to do the affirmations?
Yeah, totally. Let's do the affirmations today.
I'll do one. Do one.
Mm-hmm. Everybody take a deep breath. Breathe in light energy. One more breath. Breathe in, let it out. I insert your name. I, Ivan, proclaim that the Better Man podcast is the best podcast in the entire world. And at this point, you would say something like, I, Rodrigo, claim that the Better Man podcast is the best podcast. It's the best podcast in the entire world.
Actually, we were on a bed, so.
That's probably what it is,
Freudian slip in this.
All right, you go next.
All right. I am evolving every second, every minute, every hour, every day.
I am evolving every second, every minute, every hour, every fucking day. That's fucking beautiful, bro.
Wow.
For those who can't see, I'm very passionate and I'm crying right now from all the passion that I feel. These aren't, see, you know, the cool thing about humans is we're able to cry for different emotions. Cry for sadness, cry for happiness, cry for anger, cry for passion.
Tears are a release,
Damn straight they are, bro. And that brings us to our first topic. Crying. What is it that they say, bro? What is it that they say?
Boys don't cry, men don't cry, stuff like that.
Do they? Do they cry? Yeah, we fucking cry.
Definitely.
We fucking cry.
Definitely.
So many times they're like, don't cry, don't cry. Why? Why? Now, I understand that they kind of wanted to be like, a man should be grounded and in control of his emotions, right? Not let his emotions get the best of him, like Jesus. Jesus was a model, right? The reason that they created religion was that so men can model what a man should be like, right? And Jesus walked over water. So that was him being in control of his emotions, above his emotions, being able to think rationally about his emotions.
Water has always been associated with emotions. Is that so interesting?
Ocean emotion, bro.
Ocean emotion.
Emotions are always flowing.
Emotional oceans.
Like, go to a river, the water's flowing. Go to a lake, the water's still flowing. Even in a contained body of water, the water's always flowing because of movements and temperature. Or you're drinking, you drink from the cup. You know what I mean? And the water
Water
moves.
is example of softness becoming like powerful. You know what I mean? Because water is like translucent, it's like soft, but over time it can like pierce through rock or like mountains. Can make the shape over time.
Totally.
So just because you're being soft and crying, it doesn't mean that you're not strong. A lot of warriors, I bet, been through battle, cried for their loved ones that they left behind, and a lot of those things, And I, for one,
they cried fucking pussies. I'm totally kidding.
I, for one, I like crying when I feel the emotions rise up the most. You know what I mean? Like when the trauma is rising inside you, and you just feel this
small nigga, bro.
Yeah, bro. You've been making me work out a lot, bro.
It's only been 2 days. It's only been 3 days.
I know, but I feel it.
You just feel swole already.
Yeah. Life masters. All right. Anyway, emotions, energy in motion, right? It has to go somewhere. So anger has to travel somewhere. If you get a punching bag, that's great. No, don't trip yourself out again, bro.
I just want to listen to what you say. I want to pretend like I'm not here. Like I'm back in Austin. Oh, no, like I'm back in London. Okay, go.
So emotions are basically our human unit, right? It gets us to express ourselves. And too much of anything is bad, right? So too much emotions, too much being like in our emotional and sensitive side can actually be a detriment to us, and we understand that. Like stoicism is actually a concept of like actually like not allowing yourself to rise towards your emotions, like keeping it under wraps, keeping it controlled and stable. We understand that philosophy. However, at the same time, if you keep suppressing things and like pushing it down, it's like a bouncy ball in a swimming pool. It's gonna pop up in an unhealthy way. You know, so you might as well let it float.
Totally.
You might as well just let it float.
That suppression is what causes physical pain, causes disease.
Dis-ease.
What do you mean?
Like, split the word. Dis-ease.
What is
like ease is like easiness. Like,
oh yeah.
It makes things harder. Diseases.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Totally. Holding it in. It's like, try this. I just want you to try this. I want you to go drink a lot of coffee, right? And then when you have to go shit really bad, I just want you to hold that shit in. For as long as you can, I want you to hold that shit in, okay? Are you gonna do that? All right, good. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a few hours, a few days, a week. I want you to hold that shit in for as long as you can.
It wants to come out.
What's gonna happen? Literally, it's just gonna pour out of you. You're gonna, for one, you're gonna begin to feel pain inside of your body because you're holding it in, and then it's slowly gonna begin to like poke out. It's gonna poke out, right? Yeah. And that's what happens like random and like moments, right? Like you might be talking to somebody, and because of these repressed emotions, next thing you know, you're kind of like mad at them because they didn't take out the trash.
Yeah.
Right? It's not because they didn't take out the trash that you're mad at them. You're mad because you have anger inside of you. Let's just say that emotion is anger, right? That was definitely one of mine. I had so much trouble with anger. I had so much anger inside of me. Tons and tons and tons and tons. I did like a little session over here where I called one of my spirit guides and he came and literally it was like 1, 2, 1, 2. I go and go second. I just called one of my spirit guides over. You asked them a question, and I just felt so good, and I felt release, and then I had in that moment I had to reflect back into my past, because part of what I don't like about my past was that I was very, very physically aggressive with my siblings, and I would hit them, and you know, brutally, like not even a joke, man. Like my sister would be on the floor, and I'd kick her in the stomach. I did that only once because I felt really bad afterwards. But that's fucked up, man. That's actually fucked up. And that's a part of me that I did not like. And I very, very much dislike. But see, the thing is, any part of you that you dislike, as long as that dislike is there, that will poison the rest of your body. Look, you know what? I want you to do another experiment now. I want you to get a tall glass of water, right? And then also you're going to get a rattlesnake. And you're going to take out all the poison that it has in its fangs. And you're gonna pour that into a separate cup. Now, I want you to take only a little bit of that poison, not all of it, just a few drops, and I want you to put it inside your tall glass of water. And then I want you to drink that water. What's gonna happen to you? Are you gonna be all right? Are you going to die? Very likely you're going to die, even though it wasn't all of it, it was a little bit. And that little bit was enough to cause destruction and disruption in your reality.
Right, and even in relationships, they have this concept called poison dripping. And it's similar to what you just said, you know? Like some people just drink what the relationship is in this metaphor. They drink what is going on like medicine, but it's actually poison. They think it's medicine. They're drinking medicine as if it's poison. They're drinking poison as if it's medicine.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Be like, I want to die, and then they're drinking medicine. They're like, yeah.
Like, I feel a lot better actually. Yeah, that'd be funny. Another thing that I've noticed is I actually relate to that aggressiveness thing, because a lot of guys, like, they feel this need to like dominate, you know. And at one point, I
Over dominate.
It reminds me of this.
Controlling, you can say, is better.
Yeah, controlling. It's like
because a woman that wore her feminine, she wants you to dominate her straight up.
So I had my senior trip in Koh Chang in Thailand. And basically, like I had a hat on, right? And I would like go and approach girls and stuff in the clubs, and they would always take my hat, and just like as a joke, as a teasing thing. But then guys started to take it. And I was like, why is this hat thing like such a big deal to me? Like, I got so triggered by that I was like, I reached a threshold. And this is what happens. In anger, it like bubbles up when you keep it within, like, don't do that, right? So I said, don't do that, like, stop it, But it happened to a point where I was like, the next person who takes my hat, I'm gonna smack him in the face.
Did you do it? And what happened?
Okay, so we were in the back of a Jeep.
Yeah.
And we're all going back to this from this
What
party.
color was the Jeep?
I don't remember, dog. Maybe like yellow.
All right, just make it
yellow. Okay.
What was the interior like?
It was like, I don't know.
Black?
Probably
brown?
Maybe purple. It was pimping.
It was purple. Was it like leather or was it like suede? Suede? Okay,
suede.
Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, we were all in the back of this thing called I don't know what it was called. It was called a song tai. I remember it was called a song tai. It was like a Jeep, and basically we were all sitting and talking. And then this guy, like one of my best friends actually, he takes the hat from me because another one of my friends said, "Oh, take his hat." And he took it, and I fucking like pimp slapped him like across the face. And there were girls there too, and everyone was like, "Whoa." Everyone went quiet, like for 30 minutes. No one said a word.
Nice.
I was sitting there, like, what did I just do? I just
really?
Yeah, because I was like, what did I just do? Like, I just like, I could have handled that situation differently because I feel like people saw me differently after I did that.
Saw you which way?
Saw me as more like aggressive, like. I guess no one had really seen me like that in high school. But yeah, it reached a point, man. And everybody has that breaking point, that boiling point, And it's just about don't tolerate it and then like not set boundaries later. Set boundaries from the beginning on what you tolerate and what you don't. Because that just makes it an easy interaction.
Like in a way, I see that experience that happened to you as a good thing, bro.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I see that as like good.
I mean, yeah. And it taught me a lesson.
And as well, like, people will be like, yo, don't fuck with Soom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He might just fucking slap you. He might just fucking slap you, right?
Yeah, right.
You don't fucking know, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you actually
came out in that time, yeah.
Sometimes you do need to fucking, punch somebody. Sometimes you do need to slap them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's occasions that's in that, it comes to calibration.
Yeah.
Obviously not always, not always would that be the case. But totally, I kind of get what you're trying to say about like suppression and how you suppressed it for so long, and then it kind of like made the situation like not so good for you and like for your friends and everything. Like it was kind of awkward and shit, and maybe you might have had like some sort of like you and your best friend wouldn't really talk that much anymore after that. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think what the main thing was is I didn't want to be taken as a joke. Like I didn't want to be taken as that guy who's just like, yeah, let it, whatever happens to me. In that moment, I sort of turned on the primal driver.
So kind of like what was happening was the girls were taking your hat and you thought it was cute. You know what I mean? Because they were giving you attention.
It was flirtatious, yeah.
They were giving you attention.
Yeah.
Or so you thought it was flirtatious.
Well, actually, this one girl stole my hat. Still not anyway.
So you thought it was flirtatious.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, you're right. Like the frame of mind is so important. It's so important.
And then it became.
All right. Well, we don't know what just happened there.
That's chill.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. As I was saying, I didn't want to be taken as a joke. You know what I'm saying?
So in your mind, you were like, yeah, like this is like cool or whatever. But then in their mind, they were probably thinking, oh, I'm fucking with this person or whatever, right?
Yeah, and I took it as flirtatious.
Because you wanted their attention.
Yeah.
Right? And then it was that like crave for attention that got unwanted attention. You know what I mean? It's like I wanted only this specific kind of attention, but it actually got this other kind of attention. And now it created like a struggle for you. And you didn't know how to deal with it, and you were just kind of taking it in the ass.
Wait a second.
All right, bro, you were taking it in the penis hole.
My urethra.
And yeah, totally.
What do you think about pettiness, bro? Like just people who are just petty. I think that's a big part of evolution, wouldn't you say? Like rising above.
Define petty.
Like, oh, you left something over there, and it's really like to someone it might trigger them. Like this is the thing, right? This is the thing that I think about triggers. If I say to you, you're lazy, a part of you believes it's true. That's why you're reacting to it. You're like, what the fuck, dude? No, I'm not. But if I say you have green hair, you're not gonna react to that, right? You're just gonna be like, no, I don't, bro. Mm-hmm. Right? So in the same way, triggers I feel like are like they point out your blind spots, like the things that you don't really look at. But like a coach can do this really well as well. That's why, like, I recommend getting a mentor or a coach. Not even us, like just anybody in general who's like qualified.
Mentors have been quite impacting my life.
Hey there, guys. I'm 𝗘𝘃𝗏𝗱. I have some amazing mentors.
One of the books they recommended me was The Flow. Last night, and then what is that?
Incense.
Oh, I don't know why I thought they were with chopsticks, bro. I was like, why does this food got chopsticks?
Why did it just carry around chopsticks?
Yeah, I was like, what is he gonna eat or something?
Yo, remember we were talking about how like, you know, eating with your hands and like eating with utensils and like like you were saying like Mr. Miyagi, like, you know, caught the fly with the chopsticks or whatever. You think you can do that with 2 incense sticks?
Mr. Miyagi probably can. I can. I definitely can.
All right. What I mean by pettiness, bro, is like some people get triggered by little things, irrational fears, like, oh, you left the door open when it should have been closed at night, or just a little fear, you know. Just that's a great example, but you know what I mean? Like someone who says a racial slur, right, in the middle of a hospital. Some people will react more than others just because of their race, right? Or their experiences, or their what they've been through, their nature and nurture throughout life. You know what I mean? So it's like it's different triggers for different people because of the way they were brought up.
You know what I mean? You know what it is? It's they don't have big enough problems. You know what I mean?
I kind of get.
You got what I'm saying? Like, here's a scenario that Arash gave a while back in one of his programs. He said, so let's just say there's 2 black people, right? And they're fighting each other. If you just got triggered right now, shut the fuck up. Look, it could have been 2 white people, it could have been 2 Mexicans, it could have been 2 Asians. But I specifically started with 2 black people specifically. For a reason. Now you have to find out which one it is. Now, there's 2 black people, and they're fighting with each other, right? They're arguing about, I don't know, sports. Let's just say like some shoes. Let's say they're arguing about some shoes right now. And then they're like by like the side of like, you know, in a neighborhood, and then somebody comes by and they hit their car, right? In that moment, you don't care about the shoes. You're going to be like, what the fuck, man? You just hit my fucking car, right?
Right.
Let's say that was another black guy. Let's just say that was another black guy. And then a mob of white people, just a mob. Like, this is imagine this is like the 70s or something. Right? A mob of white people are like, we don't want these Negroes in our town. And they come in here with pitchforks and fucking, I don't know, signs, and everyone's all aggressive and whatnot, right? In that moment, those black people do not care about the shoes nor the car, because now the problem is these people here are trying to kill us and they don't want us and we feel unsafe, right? Now, let's just say the communists came in and like they were starting attacking, right? They started throwing bombs and then they got the fucking planes going through. You hear the chopper, right? In that moment, they're not caring about the black people or the shoes or the car or the white people. They're like, yo, there's people here with guns and helicopters and bombs and they're trying to kill us. In the moment, now everyone unites, right?
Together, black and white.
And then next thing, there's aliens now. Watch, and there's literally aliens.
And all of humanity gets together.
And now humanity gets together, exactly, right? So you have to evolve your problems, and little shit won't bother you anymore. Have bigger problems, and that's the motive to life.
Have quality problems.
Have higher quality problems, because life without problems does not exist. A life without suffering does not exist. There's always problems. There's always things to be dealt with, things to be solved.
Right.
Mysteries.
If you're single, if you have one girlfriend, if you have 4 girlfriends, it doesn't matter, right? If you're married, you're still gonna be sad. At the end of the day, you're still gonna have emotions. And so it's just about how you handle that and how you maintain that, instead of worrying about the actual content of what is going on. You know what I'm saying? So
totally. The homeless people have money problems. Warren Buffett also has money problems too. Warren Buffett can lose a $500 million. He'll be all right though. You know what I mean?
His conception of money is different.
He'll have more money, and he loses $500 million in the stock market. He's cool. He's still set for life, man. Yeah. He's got billions.
I think a big part of evolution is also coming to terms with abundance mindset. Right? Because I've just noticed, especially in terms of my life, when I've come from scarcity, I've been stuck in scarcity. Lower vibration energy attracts more lower vibration energy, and high vibration energy attracts more high vibration energy. And so if you're coming from scarcity and think, I'm not enough, there's not enough to go around, there's not enough resources, all these people are fighting out to get me, I can't trust these people. You get into that mentality, and it reinforces those situations of people attacking you, and people, because that's the lens that you choose to see the world, with those eyes. But if you think there's possibilities out there, there's opportunities out there for me, I'm able to do this, I can do this, I believe in myself, these thoughts just spur a different reality. Totally. And if you change your association with money, a lot of people, they associate money with safety or security. That's my survival. If I don't have any money, I'm insecure, or I don't have any, I'm not going to survive. I might die. And so when you change your association of money to something more long lasting, let's say nature or God or the universe, or money's ever flowing. It's like a faucet that never stops dripping, or anything besides that logical frame of mind where it's it is my security. And in fact it is. In fact it is. But I'm saying, which of your beliefs are true beliefs? They might not be effective beliefs. You get what I'm saying? So choose the beliefs that will actually get you the better results, if that's what you want. Because a lot of the times we get trapped no, this isn't me. These aren't my beliefs. I was actually going to talk about this in a video, but I want to bring it up, bro, in this podcast right here. Rationalizations versus permission slips. Okay? Permission slips are things that let's say this is my permission slip, or this is your permission slip, right? This allows you to feel more like a jaguar. By wearing it, you allow yourself to be more jaguar-esque, right? Or someone who's wearing a pendant or something in their hand that reminds them of their grandmother, that brings them good memories of nostalgia.
The seeds of groundedness.
Right.
Wearing gold for wealth.
Anything, yeah. Anything can be a permission slip, even a symbol, or a little shoe, or anything, right? So tattoos
as well.
Tattoos is a good one as well. Are you giving yourself the correct permission slips? Because permission slips can be positive or negative. You can give yourself permission to be obnoxious. You can give yourself permission to be annoying. You can give yourself permission to be socially awkward, right? So the thing is, you really have to frame this in the correct way so that they're permission slips and not rationalizations like, this isn't me, or I just can't, do this. It's just not in my destiny, or something like that. Like, are those thoughts actually preventing you or getting you closer to your goals?
Agreed. So I'll tell you, your brain cannot organize thoughts and visualize them at the same time. You must write it down on paper or type it up on a computer.
Yeah.
If you need to be that hipster that takes in that old typewriter to the Starbucks, go ahead and do that.
Do it. I bought a typewriter once.
Really?
Yeah. My dad took it though. He was really into it. like, you got a typewriter. Because back in the day, probably it resonates with him more. Yeah. Do whatever makes you feel great.
Oh, yeah, no. And then take that and write it down and put down all your thoughts. Put them down. And then you're able to see them. And then you read them back to yourself and you think, what the fuck, man? I think like that? That's fucking disgusting. That's incredibly foolish and dumb.
And foolish.
And foolish and dumb. And foolish and dumb.
Factoid. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Wherever you guys are listening to this from, please stop throwing crystal stars into the screen.
It fell into the fucking tea.
It's going to be charged with the crystal.
It's not even a crystal, bro.
You can imagine. It's our permission slip. Bro.
Who knows what
I'm saying?
Shit is, bro.
All right, so when I put my head on like this, shit starts to get real. Like Ash Ketchum.
Ash Ketchum, bro. I used to think about that as well. When did we even start? I completely forgot.
We started at
I'm trying to slice this shit up.
6:30 something maybe.
6:30 something or maybe. Gosh, damn. You know, when I was little, I would only wear jeans and shoes because Peter Parker only wore jeans and shoes.
You wanted to be Spider-Man.
I am Spider-Man, bro. I feel like being Spider-Man would be the goal of a lifetime.
I used to think I was Spider-Man because I have this little mole or like spot right here. So I used to go like this as a kid because I thought that's where the web shot out of, in my wrist.
Do you ever remember that one contraption that you would put on your wrist? And you could either shoot out silly string or foam or water or
they
darts
had water ones too?
or darts.
What? They had darts?
You could switch it, and then you would press it and you would shoot like Spider-Man. God, bro, I fucking love that so much. I don't know where it went.
Yeah. So, did you have any childhood incidences that really shaped you? Like moments or any memories that took you time to evolve into the person you are today?
Many.
You want to mention a few and I'll mention a few?
Many. Well, actually, I tried killing people when I was younger.
What?
No cap, bro, with a knife.
Dead ass?
With a fucking knife,
Deceased anal?
Uh-huh.
Dead ass? Dead ass, remember you were like...
Deceased anal. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, anyway. What was it, bro? Why'd you want to kill people, bro? You're an aggressive kid, weren't you, bro?
Bro, because these motherfuckers were fucking with me, bro, and I didn't know how to fucking deal with it.
Who were they?
My uncles. Manny, Checo, if you guys are listening, what's good? Y'all remember them good times? Them good times when I tried stabbing you. Shit was funny, man.
How old were you?
I was quite young. It was actually many times. Because they used to bully me a lot. I used to get bullied a lot, actually, as a kid. It'd be like that, you know what I mean?
You'd be like that, yeah.
It makes you tougher or whatever.
It does. It really does.
For sure, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but actually, it could either make you really weak or really tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes people try to take advantage of you and to become more powerful.
You know, something I realized later on in my life is that bullies are looking for that reaction from you, so they can take power over you. It's a alpha hierarchy, right? It's a game of like who can respond, make the other person more reactive to you. And when I got to that level of just like ignoring it or like coming from that ice cold frame, oftentimes the bullies would become prospects. I know it sounds douchey to say, but like they would become my clients. A lot of the bullies are haters.
What do you mean?
You know, like they'd leave a mean comment like, you need professional help. And I was like, sorry, I think you need professional help. Check out my website. They just downloaded an ebook. You know? Like that, you know? So that happened recently, actually. But I'm just giving you that as an example. Like sometimes these people who want to harm you or hurt you, they just want a response out of you. They want a reaction out of you. So what are you going to give them? Are you going to give them a reaction, which is triggered? Or are you going to give them a response, which is thought out?
Totally. It's how you, like, you could definitely tell how evolved somebody is depending on how they reply to, I should say, like a joke that is made.
Yeah, or like just a text message. Even.
When they're made the butt of the joke, in a way. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And like the other person could say it playfully or mean, but regardless, it's all about how you reply to it, how you react in a way, because, you know, as Sumedh just said, you know, it's like a response, but in a way, that response came from an internal reaction. Previously, you might have reacted with hate, but now you react with love, because it just depends at what level do you resonate at.
Right.
What level are you resonating at life? What level do your thoughts resonate at? So the way I think about it is like, let's say your thoughts are trampolines, and then other people's, you know, words or the way the actions, let's just say they throw an action at you, right?
Like little pebbles.
Yeah, right? And let's just say your trampoline is made out of, you're in the anger stage of consciousness. It's a real stage. That pebble is gonna bounce back as anger, because as soon as it touched the trampoline of anger. Now that, let's say it touched the trampoline of grief, right? Which is even lower than anger in terms of consciousness. It's gonna bounce and you're gonna get sad, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna feel like, man, I can't do nothing about this. Man, like I wish like my dad might have taught me how to be more of a man, or I wish my mom would have loved me more. And let's just say you go into the trampoline of love. It's gonna bounce back, and you're gonna be aware of what is it that they're trying to actually do. Because when you're at the level of love, you notice now we bring in spiral dynamics. Previously we had power versus force. Now we have spiral dynamics in terms of the angles of consciousness, and you'll be in the yellow. You know what I mean? And the yellow stage is where you're able to first begin to observe all the stages below it, right? Yeah. And in that moment, you'll be able to say, oh, is this person being a dick with me on purpose because they really want to trigger me, or are they saying it playfully, right? And then you'll be able to judge how you will, what kind of response you want to give that person. Because if they're being a dick on purpose to fuck with you in a mean way, you have to be mean back. You know?
Unless you're coming from neutrality, which is at the midpoint of the scales of consciousness. Like if someone belligerently insults you and you're just like, thank you. Like it doesn't faze you, you know? It doesn't hit. At the same time, if someone tells you, oh, you're the greatest person ever, I love you, you make such an impact on the world, and still you can still come from neutrality in that sense, to not dive into the depths of the emotion is what I'm saying. So it's good to have comebacks, especially, the thing is, especially for yourself, for your own inner talk as well, I would say.
I would also say, I guess I should have more clarity in that statement where it's like, it depends. Hello? I thought I heard a beep. It depends what their intention, because they could be trying to be mean, but there's some kind of mean where they're trying to get a reaction out of you. You know what I mean? But there's some other kind of mean where I'm going to put you in a dangerous situation. You got what I'm saying? So even if you're coming from a state of love, I'm going to have to hurt you because I love myself so much. And I love my purpose so much. And if I allow you to hurt me, then I'm going to get moved away from my purpose. And I allow you to hurt me, I'm going to put my family in danger. And I'm going to put my friends in danger, my children in danger.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to hurt people out of love.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great example of like the two incidents we were talking about, the aggressiveness, beginning of the podcast. Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that there's a level of intuition where when people are like thinking of something mean to say to someone else, it's generally about them, when they're talking to someone else about that. Because generally our judgments of other people, judgments for ourselves, like if you don't value your looks, you wouldn't care about how someone else looks. You know what I mean? So the thing is,
you think so? Do you think so? I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
Well, I don't know about values is the right term. I think it's just like what you approach it as. So like, how you were saying, I'm annoyed by you, but I send you my divine love, or that statement as you were saying, I see the divine love.
Yeah, it was like, my apologies for seeing you as anything less than your divine spiritual being.
Exactly, and that's exactly like if you're coming from a sense of hate, but you're aware that you're hating, that just takes you away from the hate, because at least you have that scope of awareness and you're the observer of it. So a lot of conscious people, what they do is that they're doing an activity, but during the activity and maybe even a little bit prior to the activity, they know that they're doing this. Like they're making a judgment or they're doing something. That very conscious people do this all the time, right? Or they're putting on a persona, but they're doing it anyway. And it's just like, while they're doing it, they know that they're doing it. You get what I'm saying? And so in those moments, it's just the awareness that if you are present about being not present, guess what? You're going to be present. You know what I mean? So in that same sense, it's like always come back to the now and use your past as a learning tool. Like the past is gone. We moved past it in a punny type of way. And the future, that's just anticipatory. It's like, it's going to happen. Sure, you can visualize and you can step into that reality in that quantum field. However, if you're not acting decisively now, if you're not being who you want to be now, you're just in the waiting zone, as Dr. Seuss says, the limbo, the waiting space, where you're just like, yeah, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. Or like, maybe I'll do it. And then you rationalize again, where you're like, yeah, but I can wait until next month until I get that book started. Or something like that, and we all do this all the time. But as long as you're aware of the self-sabotaging mechanism, as long as you just notice it, that's when you can pull yourself out of it. But if you're not aware of it, you can't. It's like, bro, think of it like this. A hot girl sitting on a table, cute, fine-ass chick, okay? She has like purple hair. She's kind of cute and quirky, okay? Let's say B-cup. Whatever. You get a picture? Do you get a picture?
I personally like C.
All right, C. So she's sitting down on the table, right? And you see 2 cups on the table, right? You're going to approach and say, hey, you wouldn't ask, are you here with someone? You would see the cups and you would know that she's there with someone, right? It's a stupid question. But if you weren't aware of the cups, you just approach and be like, hey, are you here with someone? She's thinking, yeah, I'm here with someone. But still, it's like the intention is like, this guy isn't aware. He's not observant of his environment. And he doesn't have that intuition or that like pull of like, does he really know me? Does he really know about me? And high conscious people, like evolved people, just are very intuitive, man. They're just like, yeah, I get that you're feeling nervous right now. I get that you're feeling very uncomfortable. Or, yo, I understand that sometimes I need to back off. Or whatever. Like, conscious people are, like, very self-reflective and they have, like, self-inquiry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in that sense.
You know what I find crazy? Whenever I look at the screen and then I look at you.
Yeah, that is very trippy.
Because it's kind of like, it almost feels like I'm looking at you, you know, from a distance, from like a long distance, the way we used to do the podcast. Yeah. And then I turn to look at you and it's like, oh shit, he's right here.
It's crazy, bro. It is crazy. It's wild, man. Stretch break. Everybody take us 30-minute stretch break.
30-minute stretch break.
Just kidding.
It's a yoga class. You go to a yoga class and then press pause right now and then just go listen to a yoga class.
You know, we came up with Better Man because we wanted you to evolve. Back to it. Real talk. No capping. Deceased anal. And what we're saying is, what the heck is happening? Oh no, he's headbutting me. Bro, that actually feels good. Yo, you're wearing some bulletproof shit, so I can't even shoot you, dog.
Like you have
right.
some shit.
Yeah.
I want to put this under my rectum.
Oh, so you're trying to be taller. I see.
It feels more comfortable, honestly.
We wanted you to evolve, right? That's what we're trying to say with that little segue.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, we want you to get better every day. We evolve every day. Weed. That's a good way to remember it.
We evolve every day. Weed. Just get a tattoo and people are like, what the fuck? You have a weed tattoo? And your boss is like, we're not going to hire you.
Actually, sir, it has a different meaning. To me, it's all about Darwin and his evolutionary.
Yeah, that's so true. I think about like how humans are going to be evolving in the future and shit.
Yeah.
What are they going to be like?
I think about that too. Are they going to be like one shade of like color?
Probably not.
Everybody's like gray.
Probably not. I highly doubt that.
Everybody's like a shade lighter than Halle Berry or something. I think about that. Honestly, I also think our heads are going to get bigger, much more expansive.
You think so?
Oh no, man.
You know,
I think we're going to get taller as well. You know,
one of the craziest things is that like back then, women, if they had small hips, they would die when they were giving birth.
Yeah. That's why they call it child rearing hips.
You know, and now we live in a world where there's women with small hips and instead they get a C-section and they take the baby out a different way. So in a way, it's kind of like we're doing reverse evolution in some instances because, well, you know, it was like survival of the fittest, but now it's like, well, everyone's surviving. Right. You know, and the whole wisdom tooth thing, our mouths are getting smaller, right? Because we've been pulling out the wisdom tooth for so long, and now we're evolving to have smaller mouths.
Also, the chemicals that we use all the time, you know, it just affects our skin and our biology and the way we move. And there's like probably hidden like energies in this room right now that we can't even see with our naked eye. You know what I mean? Like, like their frequencies, like their radio frequencies, or like some other, you know, like the microwave is emitting some weird. Like,
they're there. You know what I mean? Like, just think about the way that a bee sees the world. The bee's looking at it through a very different perspective.
You know what?
Infrared.
I use the VR sometimes to look through. There's this app. You can look through what different animals actually see at. So you can see. Yeah, we can do it after this. Actually, I'll show you.
Sounds pretty lit.
Yeah, it's really lit. It'll trip you out though. You'll be like, "What? A frog sees like this?" You'll be like, "No way." Yeah. It's different. It's like colors are different. Everything about it is different. It's like one seems like more infrared kind of cam, and Other one, like cats have like a very interesting one too. The way they see the world.
Definitely one of the highest ways of evolution in consciousness. There's a direction to consciousness. There's a direction to evolution. I know it. Sign up for my mentorship program. $3 a month. $3 a month.
You can afford that.
You can afford $3 a month,
you can
man.
Afford that.
God,
come on.
People are like, Ivan, I can't afford $500 for 2 months coaching. Okay. Well, how about $3 a month?
Exactly, or like $9 for 3 months, dog. Like, come on now.
Yo, and there's obviously like higher like tiers where you can get more stuff, more coaching and shit.
Borrow $9 and get on it.
Yeah, just borrow $9. Yeah. Be like,
give it back later. Like,
yeah, totally.
After you gain that knowledge,
that's like what
more.
That's like what you make in an hour working.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For real.
For real.
We really appreciate you if you listen to us and what we have to say. I really, if you watched this far, you're a true OG. You're one of those awesome listeners who just, we love you. We really do, like from the bottom of our hearts. And, if you are interested in working with us, please do shoot us a message on Facebook. Ivan Alejandro Acosta. No, you're just Alejandro Acosta, right? On Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, on Facebook, I'm Alejandro.
And I'm 𝘗𝘃 Chatterjee, as you know, 𝘗𝑃TH Chatterjee, 𝘗𝘃𝗹𝘃𝗲𝗱. And having said that, also check out his thing, Life Masters, Sleep Masters. Also, like you got it popping, man. You got a store and everything. Like
you be like that sometimes. You know what I mean? Like it be like that sometimes,
right? And if you guys want, also check out flowzoneacademy.com. It's FLOZONE. Academy, like a school, like an institution. You know what? I'm thinking of making an institution in the future. Like teaching.
Kind of like Grant Cardone University.
Exactly.
That's just pretty badass. Grant Cardone University.
Absolutely.
That sounds pretty badass.
Like that. Because I feel like, education has to change. This is such a good, like, podcasts are such a great way of edutainment. And that's what we do. We were educationally entertaining you. And that's it. Have an amazing day. Please leave something in the tip jar.
Yeah, if you're listening from iTunes, leave a review.
Yeah, on Apple Podcasts.
And we'll post your review on here. Because we love to share your reviews. We love to share your thoughts.
Yeah, send us a voicemail if you're on Anchor as well.
A lot of people have been saying, actually, yo, thank you for this podcast. You guys actually have so much to talk about, and you guys are actually very, very smart and entertaining.
Yeah. And
you guys are so young, I can't believe it.
Yeah, and the thing is, we've taken your notes as well. Like every single time, we just get better and better. And it's just only going to improve. Actually, we had an original podcast for this week, but we couldn't upload it.
So we had to do another one. We still have it though. But
that's because we love you guys. We're committed to this process.
2 podcasts in 2 days, 3 days, some shit.
That's what it's about. Gotta make it happen. Man, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you, man. Great that you're here in India.
No, don't tap it out, bro. You fucked it up. You moved the energy. No tapping.
No tapping.
It's crazy, yo. This is freaking crazy. It's fucking wild, bro. This is a fucking human right here.
This is another human right here.
Fucking shit. But we have connected.
I am not human. I'm not from this earth. Check out my rap videos. Rap songs. Videos too. But, check out my SoundCloud. Scripts-1. Check out my music.
Musically. Check out my Musically.
Check out my TikTok account.
Bro,
where I dance to the same song every Tuesday.
I danced the Gangnam Style. What the fuck, bro?
You did?
No.
All right. No capping, no beanies. Let's get it. Thank you for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day or night, wherever you're watching from. Shout out to all the countries in the world, including Trinidad and Tobago. We love you.
Why,
I don't know.
why that one? Do we have any listeners there?
I think so. No, we have mostly listeners from the U.S., India. Shout out to India. We are here. In fact, if you want to meet us, come and meet us in Kolkata. And yeah.
Be the best. Forget the rest, baby.
And may the flow